So good morning, everyone. Today we are having a discussion about RealScout. So we left off on the one suite, and I want to kind of transition it to how this is going to be an addition to helping you convert more business on top of what you guys already know how to put together now. Can everyone see my screen okay in Zoom? One person.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and get logged in. Everybody should be in front of their device. Log in. And we are going to click on where it says everything. I want you to get into a habit of that just because only your frequent show up and then you guys forget about some of the tools that you have available to you. So just click everything. If you're ever looking for a specific tool, you can always just search it in at the top. So you can also search in RealScout and it'll pop up for you. Very briefly, you'll notice that the MLSs have been added as tiles to the background. So you can get to FMLS and Georgia MLS from back here as well. But let's go ahead and jump into RealScout.
They don't show for us. The MLSs.
You sure? I'm looking at Jimmy's shows. Okay. All right, great point. So real briefly, if you don't see Georgia MLS and FMLS, please send an email to helpdesk@realty1group.com. And okay, there we go. And again, it should be in everything or core products, you'll see those. So all your core products are going to be in core. And then everything will showcase for everything. Some stuff you won't see, right? Just because for various reasons. All right, so jumping into RealScout. And just to give you an idea of what RealScout is, it's a private branded search platform that's designed to bring client and agent closer during the home search process, right? So it's going to prioritize homes based on the client's feature preferences. So this is going to be a huge differentiating factor. It's, again, there's a lot of artificial intelligence incorporated into RealScout, which makes it so powerful, right? So it's going to prioritize their feature preferences, all right? So that's a certain kitchen type, a certain property layout, a certain bathroom configuration, whatever it may be, they're going to feature and prioritize those properties based off of that, not just based off of the sales price or something, like every other search tool does, right? Hardwood floors, for instance, if that's a desired amenity, it's going to preference those properties and prioritize them at the top of the list because it has that, right? So when they're going through, they're not going through 80 properties. If you sent them 80, they might go through the first 8 and be like, 4 of these work for me. You know, I want to look at these. The clients can compare up to 3 homes side by side and room by room to focus on the details that they care most about, right? No other platform is going to be able to do that for you. There's just not one that exists outside of RealScout, which is part of the reason why we love this, right? So again, think about that as the client. Look at it from their perspective. They're receiving all of these blanket emails from various agents, and then here you come along with this beautifully branded portal, and they can literally look at 3 properties side by side. So they could be comparing the 3 kitchens all at the same time, right? Comparing the bathrooms all at the same time with 3 homes. They'll also get real-time insights. Well, you'll get real-time insights about their preferences, their behaviors. So you're always one step ahead. So as you see on mine, for instance, there's a live feed, and you can see that he just opened his email 5 hours ago, right? She opened her email 5 hours ago. She opened her emails 5 hours ago, right? My boy Dev, right? 19 hours. He looked at this one a second time. I need to talk to him about it, right? So on and so forth. So it keeps you updated and lets you know who you need to be tackling. Your other platform, OneSuite, which is your CRM and your website and everything else, is also going to have activity, right? So it's going to show you what's going on. Now, one of the beautiful things in this is this has a 30% click rate. open rate for your emails that you send out, right? And again, a lot of it has to do with the artificial intelligence that's incorporated with it. And so you're able to utilize this in addition to the other one. If they're not clicking in one of them, again, there's 30% click rate. So that means 70% of yours aren't getting open. So that leaves that other platform to possibly touch that other 70%. And you might get an extra 20%, 15 or 20% click rate. So now your numbers are going to look a lot greater when it comes to conversion because you have both of these systems working, right? And remember, the other one is your CRM, and it's going to have various drip campaigns that's attached to it. This only has listing alerts and market reports, right? So you want those and market alerts. So you want those drip campaigns embedded for everybody, right? So don't think that I should use one or the other. Use both of these. I'm telling you, that's how it works. That's how you make the most money, right? And help them the most. All right, so clients are always prompted to contact you as the agent when interested in viewing a listing, right? So no matter what the listing is, they're going to be redirected back to you. And then RealScout's market reports identify buyers who match your listings and enable you to instantly contact agents with those quality buyers, right? So it's a collaborative home search platform. Y'all are in this together, right? And then it also prevents them from searching other portals where they get introduced to more agents. So homes.com too, by the way, just overtook realtor.com in regards to views. So homes.com was just purchased by CoStar. CoStar also bought HomeSnap, so they get rid of the HomeSnap Pro app. And they needed to do that. Yeah, now they're pushing everything to Homes. They already integrated the two, but now they're just getting rid of HomeSnap. But Homes is finally overtaking Realtor.com in regards to visitation, right? And so that's going to be a huge platform to generate business. And the biggest thing is not pay to play like Realtor.com, right? So if you're a listing agent, every one of those inquiries are coming to you on homes.com. That's a game changer. So that's how Zillow made their money, right? They make you pay to be in front of the buyers, right? And then they just took all of the business after that. Homes.com is doing the opposite. They're saying these are your listings, you get all of the clients, and we have CoStar behind us. We're pushing all of this money to get in front of as many people as possible, which is why they have more business now. So focus on sellers. Now back to RealScout. You have a couple of things, right? So you want to look at this as a capture tool, an engagement mechanism, and a conversion vehicle, right? So don't get it confused with one suite. You need them both. This is your capture mechanism, your engagement tool, and your conversion suite, right? So first, we're going to capture. So let me move this out the way. Well, there's a multiple ways you can do it. So you can add client or alert, and you can create a new one or select an existing client. We're going to do Joe Smith. Phone number and source are optional. I always encourage you to notate where you're getting these clients from. It makes your job a lot more easy, more efficient, and you also know where to spend your money, right? So we'll create client Joe Smith. Now, do I want to put them on a listing alert or a market activity report, right? So for the listing alerts, you're going to send automated emails to alert them about new listings and price status changes, right? Buyers. The market activity report can be used for both buyers and sellers, but it's going to be more so for the sell side of things. So if you're having a conversation with somebody about their market or their home or what they're thinking about doing with their property and how to capitalize on the amount of equity that they built over it, you can put them on that market activity alert, right? So now it's almost like a drip campaign, but it's not, because it's only for market activity reports. But this is good whether they're ready to sell now or whether they're ready to sell 5 years from now. They constantly get updated about what's going on with the market, and you don't have to do anything outside of just send it to them, right? So you guys have Georgia MLS and FMLS access inside of one suite. They're both connected. You only have at the moment FMLS access to this, and that's done on purpose because once you see the way that the searches combine, it gets very redundant. It gets very redundant when all of the properties are duplicated. And so what they decided, you know, because at first we had Georgia MLS and FMLS, but you can see the duplication. So every single property was duplicated, and that would be a bad experience for the buyers, right? So they removed that, and it's only for FMLS. Now, if you prefer Georgia MLS, that's an easy fix, right? So don't feel like you can't use that one if that's your preferred MLS of choice. But we have it connected to FMLS. If you want Georgia MLS, just reach out to me so I can make sure that they put it in for you. All right, so with the market, you'll select which markets you want to send these reports about, right? Whether it's a city, a neighborhood, a zip code, a school district, whatever it may be. And it's going to have all of these various reports driven for them. You can do a minimum price, optional, or maximum price. So if they live in a $700,000 home and they're looking to be in that, you know, $8 to $1 million range on their next purchase, you might want to only show them stuff that's like a minimum price of $600K. Right? Because $500K isn't really relevant to their particular market, right? Even though the sub market may be the same, the home in itself differs so much that it's not really relevant to them. So we want to use as much as cohesive market intelligence as possible to paint a compelling story for them, so they want to be driven to move and to act, right? If you're selling them stuff with $500K and they think their home is worth $850, they're not really, you know, compelled to act, because they're just seeing what's going on with the market. I want to see what's going on with these $800,000 homes and who my competition is going to be, and can I actually get something for mine, right? And then you guys will see in a moment that you'll have these various heat maps. And so what we'll do, just for instance, to give you an example. So here's a preview of what they're going to see. You can always draw custom boundaries. So if you wanted to do an actual neighborhood, you can do that. If you wanted to share market insights, you can set it up if it's bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, or you can do it manually, right? You can select it for more than one client. So if Joe Smith is only one of 10 clients I'm working with in 30308, I can set all of them up for the same thing. And you can save these market alerts to the client. And those, again, it'll be set today, and the next one automatically sends whenever you select. So if it's a month, it's a month. If it's bi-weekly, it'll be in 2 weeks. So here's the juicy part that a lot of other tools and sources won't have for you. I can confidently speak to these sellers and say, there's 102 buyers in this zip code looking for property like yours right now, right? From those 102, we've had 757 buyer interactions on these homes, right? I can see where the hotness is. I can see that downtown connector is on fire right here, right? I can see where it's hot up over here too. And all that we're looking at right now is 30308. So it's not giving me information anywhere else, because that was the zip code that I selected, by the way. And anything less than 300K, I didn't include, right? So again, the more concise you can be and the more accurate you can be with the data that you're putting in, the better results you're going to have, right? So again, I can go down to a neighborhood. If I wanted to focus on W residences, for instance, I can go all the way to W, or pop in the property address for the W and only concentrate on that, right? Or Centennial Park, or Castleberry Hill, right? Whatever. So it could be a neighborhood, a sub-market, a zip code, a city, you name it. All right, so active buyers over time. In July, we had about 8 buyers between July 3rd and July 9th, right? 24, August 7th to August 13th, and so on and so forth. You can get very specific with the information that's compiled here, right? And then you can see which listings we're talking about. So this one, for instance, right, 640 Glen Irish Drive, it'll pop open, and I have all the information here. So again, I'm literally doing research. I'm not even in either MLS, right? And I have all this stuff that I can sit here and create a full report for all kinds of stuff if I wanted. I can make remarks about this particular property, and all this stuff is going to save on this particular file. I can see the listing agent info, right? Again, this one sold. I can also view what the listing would look like as a home buyer, right? I can share it on Facebook. All kinds of stuff you can do to generate more leads. And again, remember, you can buy leads all day long on the web, but you're gonna be the strongest if you're actually going out there and getting these listings. And remember, who's this guy? Jason, right? Jason came out here and got this listing. The seller wanted to sell. Jason happened to be in front of the seller. They went with Jason. That's how simple this is, right? A lot of people make it a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. People need to sell their homes for various reasons. Make sure you're in front of the people that want to transact at the time, before the time that they're ready to transact, right? So you can be the one getting the listings. It's that simple. I would reach out to all of these people if this was my neck of the woods, and all of these people would be receiving some sort of mailer from me. You know, you can do market reports where you can literally send out everything that just recently sold, that's under contract, anything that's expired, whatever. You can do all kind of market reports and just send it out to everybody, right? All right, so keeping it moving. It'll show you the recently solds as well, right? So I can see. So again, 33 punts. They're like, the stuff wasn't moving for 465 at 33 punts. I might want to reach out to all of the rest of the condo owners at 33 punts and say, hey, you know, your neighbor just got 465, right? I see you bought yours for 200K just 4 years ago. What do you want to do about that, right? What's the strategy that you got behind, right? Do you want to test the market? You have a whole feature inside of RealScout where you can create a test the market campaign. So now it's encouraging them to see if they want to stick their foot out there. And you need to be the one in front of them when they're ready to go, right? And again, you have all of those incredible tools inside of Creative Studio that you can create some incredible postcards, some incredible social media posts, right? Some incredible email drip campaigns and things of that nature. Put them in there, right? So that's market alerts. And what we'll do real quick. Well, we'll get to that. All right, so that's how you add people essentially. So you want to add up here, add client or alert. You want to select new client, create new client, or you can select an existing client, right? And all your clients will pop up there. You can also, where is it at? Extras. So you can have your social media connected. You can have widgets, landing pages, and various integrations. What I mean by that is you can click on integrations and say, hey, I'm a Zillow partner, or I use Follow Up Boss, right? Set up my Zillow Connect account to this. So now all of my Zillow Connect people drop into there, right? I get Realtor.com leads, send all of my Realtor.com leads directly into this portal. So as soon as they search on Realtor.com, right? And they drop into your lead funnel in Realtor.com, they automatically get pulled over here. Now here's the kicker. The artificial intelligence curates a listing report that they're going to be sending based off of the property that they drop into your Realtor.com without you doing a damn thing. That's a game changer. If you have a ton of different pools and funnels and different things, you connect this to your CRM. You can do it through Zapier. So there's the other connection through Zapier. So if you want to connect it to OneSuite, right? So every time somebody goes to your OneSuite website and they start to search, they'll automatically be dropped into this. And they're set up on these campaigns, so you're not even doing it. Then you wake up in the morning, you go to your dashboard and you see that so-and-so looked 3 days ago, or so-and-so looked 5 hours ago, right? I didn't touch any of these people. They all automatically drop in there from various ways through Zapier, right? And again, I never created this. This was created by the artificial intelligence because that's where he was looking at, right? And so in the specific area that he's looking at. Now it's up to me to reach out to him to make sure that I have a buyer consult, right? To figure out exactly what he's really looking for, right? But again, he's already active. And most people, wherever that lead source came from, let's say it's a realtor lead, for instance, if that lead source came from realtor, most of those other realtors are only sending him, trying to get in front of him stuff. You've already set him up on the search.
So you're saying that lead, like let's say the lead you were just talking about, came from your website, right?
Yeah.
Which was linked to, you said Zapier?
Zapier.
Okay, got it.
Yep, and that would be through extras and then integrations.
Okay.
And what Zapier does, and Zapier will give you, I think 3 or 5 free zaps, So you can link Zapier to anything down there. So Zapier is just like a master brain to connect your tools, right? So you can connect Instagram to Zapier. And when somebody likes an Instagram comment, it can zap to your email address to set them up with a generic email saying, hey, thanks for reaching or whatever, right? So it's like you can just connect things to take yourself out of the picture. Yeah. Again, artificial intelligence is going to replace a lot of business, but for us, this could make a lot of us multi-millionaires without you doing half of the work that you would have had to do just a year ago, right?
But you have to be buying leads from Zillow and Realtor.
No, that's only if you already getting Zillow leads or Realtor leads. With Zapier, you can connect it to anything. They generate an API key for you. So Zapier is the workaround. If something's not up here, so let's say you get leads from a different source and it's not here, you can just connect it to Zapier. And again, Zapier works with like 95% of the products that's out there on the market. It works with Google, it works with HubSpot, it works with our CRM system, right? So it's connected to everything. Now, the more Zaps you have to start to pay for it, but they give you free ones, right? So if you're only doing, let's say you receive leads from your IDX website and you only want those to go to drop into your RealScout, it's going to be free because you don't have to pay for more than one Zap. And it works the same. So again, this is how you replace assistants and things of that nature and keep more money and use the tools that we have for y'all that are so valuable, right? All right, so that's how you capture the lead. We want to engage the lead. Part of that will be the market alerts, but we'll talk about the let me go to clients. We'll talk about listing alerts real quick. So let me go to the test guy that I just made. Where's he at? Joe Smith. Right, and so I can add a listing alert if I'm working with a buyer, right? If I wanted to do it directly. And again, you can make a generic one and name it whatever you name it, and you can assign it to multiple clients, or you can just create one specifically for that client or multiple ones for that client. You just save it to whoever you want, right? So it's going to be very general information that you can select, right? The traditional stuff, property subtype, right? Property type. Let's say I'm working with an investor as well. So they're looking for residential income. Standard, I only want to see the active stuff, maybe coming soons, right? List price, let's say we're going up to 500K. And you'll notice that the results are constantly being filtered down, right? The more content you put in, the more criteria you select. Obviously, location, right? We can do schools and school boundaries. So you can say, hey, they only want to be in this school district. Well, you can look through the school district. They only want to be in this subdivision. Well, you can search by subdivision, right? Features, of course, and then amenities as well. And again, so if you're looking for a client who specifically said they only want hardwood floors, they are not going to put down hardwood floors by themselves. They have no interest in doing it. They only want hardwood floors. Well, guess what? The community feature or the amenity, well, this is community feature, but I will make sure that hardwood floors are in here, right? You can add more searches or add more features. So if you don't see it there, it's probably gonna be here, right? And anything that they can search in FMLS will be here. And if you decide to use Georgia MLS, anything that they search in Georgia MLS will be here. So as long as you can search it there, you can search it here. And again, this will help curate the right properties for them, the more specific you can be to their search criteria, right? And so again, their experience is going to be so much more phenomenal that they're going to have to use you as their agent because they don't get this experience anywhere else, you know, and that's where it starts. So that's what the listing alerts will be. We'll just view the results, and you can also edit it to, so if there's no photo, you can say, I only want ones with photos. Right, because again, I'm thinking about their experience. I want them to, who cares if they can't see the photos, right? They're not even looking at anything else. They're just going to bypass it anyway. So I can select to only show stuff with photos. Once they add photos, it'll populate in the search. And you're able to send them all. You can filter it out. You can talk about how soon you want to filter it, right? So for instance, let me select all. I can send 100 at a time. They won't let you go beyond 100 because that just gets very overwhelming. But I can save this to Joe Smith and I can say, okay, the alert schedule is daily, ASAP, monthly, or disabled. So I can send him something as soon as something new hits the market every single day. This means he's going to be getting multiple emails from me every single day. I can also do it where it's handpicked. So nothing will come through until I approve it. So they'll live here and drop here, and then I'll be notified, hey, you have 10 more listings that have just been added. And I can go search through those 10 and see which ones might be a good fit for them. And only send those. Exactly. That's the way that's the way to have the best experience and generate the most business, because they're gonna appreciate that and they're gonna sing your praises. They're gonna say, hey man, Jimmy sent me everything he sent me was an option. It was tailored to my preferences. All these other people done sent me 1,000 properties I can't even get through, right? So it's like it's all about that experience. And so, but you're able to select which ones you want to send, and then obviously it'll be a nice report. And let me see here. So I'm gonna save that. And so you'll see that the 463 are in a queue. So I can select all of them. And again, I can only send 100 at a time, or I can delete all of them out of this. Like, he's not gonna like any of these. Let me get rid of those. Right? So now he don't even have to be bothered with them. And he's notified as frequently as I request that I select on here. But you want to ask them, how often do you want these listings? Right? And it also depends on where they are in the process. If he's 9 months away, he don't want listings every single day. You know, but if he's 9 weeks away, he might need the ASAPs, right? So it just depends on where they are in that process and what their preferred method of communication is and how frequent. So ask them. The more you can ask, the better you can tailor your experience to them. So that's what that's going to look like. Settings. Okay. So that's engaging, right? This is how you nurture and you captivate your clients, both on the buy side and the list side. Again, with the list side, it's going to mainly be with the market alerts, right? And they're going to be able to see these various things. And again, we haven't even really jumped into all of what this can do for you, but you can see like how much if we were to go like again that test the market tool. If we were to price your property at 800,000, we're going to have 800 eyeballs on it. If we price it at 785, we're going to have 2,000 eyeballs on it, right? If we priced it at wherever that price is, it'll show you how many eyeballs you're going to have on it, because again, we can identify how many buyers are in this market right now based off of all of the data that we just compiled. Well, that RealScout compiled for us. So again, they're looking at Zillow, they're looking at Realty.com, they're looking at our websites, they're looking at everything, and they're saying, from all of the sites that we have, the insight that we have, there's 862 buyers in 30308 right now looking in a 300,000 plus price point range, right? And we can go to our clients and let them know that. And so it's like we have 800 opportunities to sell your property to somebody if we listed at 800,000. If we listed at 785, we have 2,000 opportunities to sell this property, right? And nobody else is coming at them like that. Well, some of them are the ones that's getting all of the listings, right? And so y'all have these powerful tools for you ready to go. All you got to do is use them, right? And it's going to put you in front of anybody that you're going to be competing against for that business. And again, the more you can be specific and the more intention you use towards your attention, right, you're going to be that better off. And it's going to show. All right, so, and then you convert. You can also do reverse prospecting on here too, by the way. So if you have a listing and you want to blast everybody who potentially has a buyer, remember, we know it's 862 buyers, right? There's 862 agents, right? It might be one agent might be repping more than one buyer, but there's 862 agent emails that we can send out to people who have something that has a buyer that's looking for something that's inside of my listing, right? And you can do reverse prospecting on MLSs too, but you can do it from here. It's going to be a different type of experience for the agent as well. So it's like, hey, I see your buyer's looking for a condo at the W. right? I have one listed. Have them look at this one. We might be able to get a deal done. Yep. So capture, engage, convert. That's pretty much the gist of it. Let me see if there's anything specific else that I want you guys to see. Again, the social media, you want to make sure, and again, this is a product. If you go to realscout.com, you'll see you have to pay for this product. You good? Use this because it's complimentary to you guys. It's incorporated inside of your monthly investment, right? So use it. You're not paying more for this product, and you got a better version than the basic product, right? So it's like, use these tools, man. They're gonna help your business grow for sure. But connect all your social media. Now, with your social tools, you can share your personalized search portal. So in addition to your website, everybody has a personalized search portal, right? So you can create landing pages. You can create match search links, right? You can share directly to social media. Let me show you some of the widgets. You can create various widgets. So if you wanted this on your website, so let's say you have a website or you don't want to use the link that's inside of the OneSuite website, you can use this link. That way they automatically drip in without you connecting to Zapier, right? And if you want to advanced search, it'll be this one, right? If you want to show your listings, right, it'll be this one. And this is the HTML code that you will use. If you want to use the office listings, it'll be this one. Right? And so on and so forth. Now to the money makers, the landing pages. Everybody's landing page will be first name, last name, .realscout.me unless you changed it. So let me see what my landing page looks like. Right? There's my landing. Oh, this actually looks pretty dope. Let's find your next home. Where would you like to live? Right? With me, it's going to tell you what the dimensions are. All you have to do is create it, right? You can go to Canva, you can go to OneSuite, Creative Studio, and create something that's attractive, not because everybody's is going to be generic. It probably took me 5 minutes to create this. If that, it took me longer to log in than to create it, right? So use that and make it your own so people start to become a piece of that idea that you're putting out there into the world. Right, you have to have your own brand as well. We the Lakers, we want LeBron, we want Kobe, right? We want to enhance who you are. You put LeBron or Kobe on Milwaukee, and it's not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? They still gonna get their money, but they're not gonna be able to get everything else that comes along with it because they're not on the Lakers, they're not on Miami, right? It's part of the game, and it's like, so let us be that anchor and that support for you, but let's help you flourish as a brand. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you really win, because people, they gonna know Realty One Group because we're gonna do a great job of promoting it, but they need to know you. You're the one that they're gonna be working with. So it's like, if you don't have an identity, it's like they're gonna go to the person with one. And that don't mean you need to make up something. Like I was the high rise guy, for instance, but that don't mean you have to be a specific, quirky name. Just be your name, if nothing else, but at least create a logo for yourself. You can do it on Canva for free. Right? You can do it in Creative Studio for free, or you can pay somebody on Fiverr to do it for $20 and you have a really dope logo, whatever, right? And then connect that with the one Terminus and let that enhance what you're doing out there in the marketplace, right? Thank you. So that's what one of the landing pages looks like. Let me go back to that, right? And again, you can create multiple landing pages. So you can customize the landing page here, and this is where you'll change everything up, and you can edit what you want it to be, what you don't want it to be, so on and so forth. But again, so they come here, they start searching, and all of that information is dropped into your RealScout. And if you have it Zapier connected, it can be reversed where it drops into your OneSuite as well.
Can you give me an example of how you would throw someone to your landing page?
Absolutely. So you could, that's a great question. There's a couple of ways you can do it. So whether it's social media, for instance,
okay.
This one, you can do a personalized search portal, right? And so I could, let's say I want to do a post that says what $500,000 buys you in Midtown right now.
Okay.
Right. So I can come here and create that search. right? Minimum price, maximum price. I can talk about the property type. I can talk about the neighborhood, and then I can just generate that, and I can share it to my Facebook account, for instance.
Okay.
Right, and then on Facebook, this is what they're gonna see. They're gonna have to sign up, because remember, this is a private invitation only platform. So if they're not invited by you, or if they're not dropped in by you through some kind of Zapier link or something, then they're not getting access to RealScout.
Got it.
They can't just go to realscout.com and get access. They have to have an invitation from an agent to be able to use the services. And so they'll have to sign up, and this is where all their information will come in. They sign up, and then they can go ahead and play around, and they can also see the various listings that I just created. But if they don't sign up, they don't get access to it. So it's a great tool for you to be able to get that additional inbound traffic. Now, if you send them to the directly to the landing page, they will be able to search, right? So it'll just look like this.
Gotcha.
And you'll be able to still capture their info. But let's give you an idea of what that's gonna look like. Boom. So the landing page just gets them a little one step closer. Then it's like, oh wait, I gotta put my info in first, right? So it's like there's various ways to get it, but there's a ton of things you can do.
Understood.
You can
you showed me that.
Yeah, you can even do ads too. So if you want to do a Google ad, for instance, and it's homes for sale in Atlanta, and then you have various homes for sale, and then they click on the Google ad or the Facebook ad or the Instagram ad, it can drop to the landing page. And then now they got to populate the information, and then they'll get access to the search of all of that stuff. And then now you can do the same thing with your one suite as well. But even with the one suite, you can let them search a few times before you ask for the information if you want. But yeah, so I mean, it's just however you want to utilize it. It's my pleasure. All right. So,
Adrian, I have a question.
yes.
So I'm trying to figure out I guess is RealScout like MLS on steroids? Is that how I should look at it like?
That's a great way of putting it, for sure. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because again, if you were to send the best tool that you can use to send properties to clients, if you're using an MLS, is going to be that one home tool inside of FMLS. Everything else fails in comparison. And then you also have Remind, which is another great tool, which I love. I love Remind dearly. What this does is take both of those, right? So you take the simplicity of one home, you take the analytical data of Remind, and then you couple them together, and most importantly, you brand it to yourself, right? It's fully branded to you. So you have the best of all worlds, if you will. And you have that component of the artificial intelligence already being embedded in it, right? And again, the biggest differences too are going to be that side-by-side, room-by-room search capabilities. You can't do that with any other tool. So if my wife is saying, hey, we need this type of kitchen, otherwise we're not purchasing the home. Every time I'm looking at the property photos, I'm looking at the kitchen first to see if I'm even wasting my time, right? And I can now compare, and I can sit next to her and say, hey, what do you think about these? And we're looking at the kitchen before we even move further, right? Or same thing if it's a pool, same thing if it's a basement, same thing if it's a master bedroom. Like we need a suite, we don't need whatever. So it's going to be able to help that experience of the buyer be that much more phenomenal from that standpoint. Because again, they're actually experiencing it the way they want to experience it, right? Going back to the amenities, if they say it must have a pool, it must have a basement, it must have stucco, it must have hardwood floors. These are my must-haves, non-negotiables, right? In the backyard. I'm putting all of those features inside of my search. So guess what? Every single home that they're getting are getting their non-negotiables embedded in it. And then it's going to be prioritized based off of their wants and wishes. So the first home that they're going to see when they're searching, when they receive that new email from me, is going to showcase a home that is suitable for them. And then they click to the next one, that one is suitable for them. They click to the next one. That one is suitable for them. They favorite the third one, right? They go back to the second one. They go back to the third one. I see all of their action. I'm going to go to my dashboard and see Cindy favorited this property. She saw this property 4 times. That prompts me immediately to reach out to her and say, hey, Cindy, I'm available today at noon and tomorrow at 1. Which is better for you to go have a look at 1191 Briarcliff? What works best for you? Right? I'm not even giving her an option at this point. I'm not asking her if she wants to see it. It's clear she wants to see it. She favorited it. She looked at it 4 times this morning. Right? So going back to that engaging factor and that nurturing factor, I'm up to date. And now I can connect with her, so my conversion is going to skyrocket because I see she's active. She's on fire, right? So it does a lot of my job for me to figure out who I should be spending time with. If I have 100 clients in here and I see that 8 are active this week, guess who the first 8 contacts are going to be? The 8 active ones, right? And the most recently active, or the one that's mainly it tells you when somebody's about to pop. It kind of lays it up for you to say, okay, you know, I'm teeing you up. They're ready. Call them, email them, call them, text them, right? So there's more. It's more than just the MLS. The MLS is great for searching and great for researching, but it's not even extensive as this. As I showed you, I just did a bunch of research here without ever leaving the portal. Right? I got a whole market report about how many buyers is in a whole zip code without going to the MLS. And it's going to be a beautiful branded minimalist document that's going to be easy for them to consume, and it's going to be done in a matter of 30 seconds. And I'm going to look like the expert because I just provided them with these market insights that are so powerful that they don't get anywhere else. So there's a lot of differences. There's a lot of overlap with the MLSs because, again, it works. It's powered by the MLS, right? But it's yes, to put it in your terms, is the MLS on crack or on steroids. Is the next level of MLS. And another thing too is when you send those automated listing alerts from the MLS, it's going to say, it's going to be that generic email that you create, right? So it's going to say, hi, Jan, here's more properties that are available from the MLS or whatever the generic email says, right? That you only make one time. And it's always that same email, right? So if you were to send yourself, if you put yourself on a listing campaign on FMLS and you got an alert, it's going to say, hi, Jan, you have another property available to look at, right? It's going to be something really generic. Whereas here, it's going to be the artificial intelligence kicking in again. It's going to say, hey, Jan, check out this beautiful home with hardwood floors throughout. Because it knows it has hardwood floors or a beautiful pool or a massive basement, right? So it doesn't seem like it's this generic email. It feels like my agent actually sent this to me directly. So it's gonna, again, be more effective for you.
Okay.
That's the question.
You can't answer my second question because I was going to ask you, can you look virtually at what the client is doing?
Absolutely.
And I mean, virtually, like we're talking and can they see the screen just like you can see the screen so you can talk to them about different things, or no, you can't do that? Because it sounds a little bit like, because there was a realty company that's called Zip that kind of went with this, and that was back when I first started, and they were something like this. It
Yeah.
was a lot simpler because this is not
Yeah.
simple to me,
Yes.
but
So
but it was something similar to that. But you could actually view the client online. So can you do that with RealScout or no?
you can also do that with OneSuite. So Zip Realty
Oh,
they were one of the first ones to put
mhm.
listings on the internet in general.
Yeah.
They were like the newest to the technology at the time, but that stuff is so outdated. It's not even.
I don't think they exist anymore, but
Okay, exactly. So, but to answer your question, it's all of that and then some. So it's literally everything that you need to cultivate a client, to have the client engaged, to be able to have to collaborate with them on the search. So not only do they see what you see, they can collaborate with you. They can make notes. They can adjust the criteria. They can do all kinds of things in addition to what you're doing, right? Because again, the last thing we want is for them to be on Zillow searching or Realtor searching, because every time they search, they're gonna have another 5 agents reaching out to them, right? And so it's like your job is hard enough already. And those smart agents are gonna put them in all kind of drip campaigns. So as soon as you slip, they got another agent that's been talking to them for just as long as you have. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, you know, it's right there. Obviously, though. Very simple.
Get in my DMs for like 3 months.
Exactly.
You've been slipping.
So, so you want to position yourself to be that option when they're ready to transact. That's what this does for you. It nurtures them for you.
Yeah.
Right. And it keeps them engaged. And again, you'll find that this has a 30% or greater click-through. Whereas, again, your one suite, depending upon how active that person is, you might not see that much click-through. You know, you might have people that open up 5 emails from you all year on one suite, right? You got somebody in here, they're gonna be engaged and they probably ready to go. They probably a lot closer to closing than somebody who just started their search or who's on the fence about selling their property. Again, this is helping them get off of the fence if they're looking to sell. It's like, dude, we got 2,000 buyers looking for your home right now. And if we were to price it right, we'd have 3,000 buyers. It's going to sell. What's your question?
Can you connect the one suite with the RealScout through Zapier?
Yes,
So you don't have to go back and forth?
absolutely.
So that way you don't have to use both?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Will you be able to show us how to do that one day?
I will, but you just go to Zapier and then it's going to, because Zapier has multiple connections, but I will show. And ultimately you'll go to Zapier.com and then it's going to ask you, what are you trying to connect? What I always encourage is just to reach out to them. So they're gonna have a support task and you say, hey, I'm looking to connect my one suite account, which is powered by Sync, Commissions Inc., because they might have one that says Commissions Inc., and that's all you do is connect it to. But it's like, and it's very simple. But I always ask them because they just do it a little bit better. And again, let me show you.
So when you say 5 Zaps, is that 5 companies or 5
No.
clients they will pull over?
So I'll go to Zapier real quick just to show you, because they're gonna have because it's still a business, right? So they're gonna have various product types, right? So for instance, pricing. And it's gonna show you, and these are the companies that use Zapier, right? Slack, Meta, Shopify, Dropbox, Asana, right? And so free forever, you get 100 tasks per month, right? And single step zaps, no code editor, right? And then if you want multi-step zaps, so you can say, all right, once they drop into my campaign, I want them to receive a drip campaign. And then I want them to get an email directly from my Gmail. And I want them inside of RealScout as well. Like you can do all kinds of stuff. Wow. And it does it for you. So you never touch anything.
I'm saying so you don't have to go, because you said, so to me, it seems like RealScout is just another CRM system.
Well, no, it's not a CRM. It's a client cultivation and engagement tool that's going to help you convert higher rates. Because again, it does so much more than just the average CRM.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, will it pull the clients up so you don't have to go into this system, put a client in, go to this system?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
That's what this could do.
That's what Zapier is for.
Okay, so
Yep,
that's what I'm asking, like, can I connect that to
Oh, yeah,
pull everything
absolutely.
over?
So for instance, if they go to your website, and again, it doesn't matter which website. So I'll even use a different website, for instance.
Yeah.
I forgot the L. So let's say someone came here, right? My One Lux website, and they started to search, right? Now they're searching. And they like this home. They say, you know what?
That's another $46 million.
Yeah, so I was gonna, this is, no, crazy story. Before I started doing commercial full time and went to Marcus and Millichap, this was the home I was gonna list. I was gonna take it to market for the same price. This was back in 2017. This is the most expensive home ever listed in Atlanta.
I see.
Ever.
I'm like,
Yeah.
this is LA prices.
Yeah, for sure. It's massive.
That's
It's
that Tyler Perry
Yeah,
money.
and it's like everything in here is in like an artifact or like some sort of antique, like down to the chandeliers. Like there's a story behind each one of these chandeliers. You know, look at the details here are just crazy.
Elton John just put his high rise on the market for the first time in years.
For the first time, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's first in the
So then Herschel Walker, everybody's getting out of Buckhead. They're like, man.
I was looking at the home next door to Herschel Walker. It's Mount Perry. It's actually on the market right now. It won't sell because the guy didn't listen to it.
All right, so but yes, so this is where Zapier is gonna live. And again, as you see, you get 100 tasks per month, right? So if it's beyond 100 tasks, so if you got 100 people that's coming into your database, you might need to pay the $20 to get more or whatever, right? But again, this is free. So if you got less than 100 people dropping in, then you're good.
Per month, 100 per month?
Per month.
Oh, yeah.
And again, that's single step zaps. So that would be them coming to your website and getting dripped or zapped into your RealScout. So that could happen 100 times. And again, you can do it whatever, email leads, people can come in from emails. Every new email lead that I get, I want to add them to my CRM, right? Now, again, you don't have to use Zapier for this because you can just connect your OneSuite to your Google and it's going to do it automatically, right? And all of that stuff live in the same places. And again, the more you want it to do for you, the higher up it's going to be, right? Like if you want unlimited multi-step stuff. So if you want a personal assistant, right, it's going to be $50 a month or whatever.
It's still not bad.
Not bad at all, especially for somebody to do all of the work for me. This happens, now I want you to do this. That happens, now I want you to do that. That happens, now I want you to do this. Super simple, right? So, and so, but yeah, all of that's integrated here. What other questions do we have from anyone? Any other questions before we wrap it up? Obviously, there's support everywhere. Help and tutorial videos live right here for you, right? We have all the extras, the landing pages, the widgets, the integrations, the social media tools. You have the market alerts, right? And remember, this is where you're gonna get all of that information after you select which market you're looking at, and it's gonna give you all of that data, right? How many buyers, how hot are the markets, how hot are the sub-markets around it, right? You'll have messages, as you can see, the Susan lady, she's an agent, and she was doing some reverse prospecting on one of the clients. So she sent that to me, and it was sent through here. Yep. If you wanted to just search, you can do that, and then you can view results, or you can save it to a client, right? So if you didn't want to go in FMLS and you just wanted to search from here, you can do that. It's super simple, and you're gonna get again, it's connected to FMLS. So it's going to be everything that's available in FMLS. You're not going to be missing anything. It's going to be a much simpler process. So you never have to go to FMLS again, really, unless you're doing something like adding a listing or something like that. And even then, you don't got to you just go to Remind Docs Plus, add edit, or Georgia MLS Ditto, right? All your clients will live here. You can create new clients up top, add client or /alert. Then your dashboard will be here. This is going to be everything that happens. And again, you can engage clients with email alerts from here. So you just click on this button. You can enhance your listing presentations here, right? You can market your platform here. That's going to be your personal link. You can learn more about markets here. Very straightforward stuff. So it's like, what am I trying to do? Oh, you know what? I want to enhance a listing presentation. Well, let me click on this. And then I just pop in the address and it's going to generate a preview of what I'm looking for, right? And then just like that, you can and have them test the market, get real-time insights into RealScout buyer demand and how market reach fluctuates at various price points for potential listing. So we looking at 45 Ivan Allen Jr., which is the W residences. I'm looking for a target price of $1 million for this 3-bed condo, right? They're like, oh, sir, you're not gonna get that. You can, but it's only 23 buyers, right? At 850, you got 10 more people that's probably gonna buy that, right? So at a target price of $1 million, there are currently 23 buyers who may be interested in a property like this. At 1.5, 1.15, I'm probably gonna be there because I'm only losing 2 buyers. So it's like, let's aim for the moon. If we land at $1 million, I can live with that because we're only losing 2 buyers. Now, if they like, we need at least 30 eyeballs on it, well, we need to be at least 850, right? We don't need 30 people to buy it, we only need 1, right? It's my job to create a compelling story for that person to want to purchase your company. That's what I do. Let me worry about that piece, right? But again, you're able to show them the data. You can show them how hot Atlanta is. Like, listen, I'm also going to be attracting people from outside of the region, right? And I'm going to position this in front of them to understand how great of an opportunity they may be missing out on if they don't buy it right now. So let me do my marketing piece. All I need you to do is sign the listing agreement. Right? Simple stuff.
So really quick, go to this little section, so.
You can
this
export it.
section here. So why does these say the negative? So this is, you don't have a good chance of.
No, this is if I'm going, yeah, so it decreases by 4% for every 50K that I go up. So at $1 million, we had 23 buyers. At $1,050,000, I lose 4% of those buyers. At $1,001,000, I lose another 4% of those buyers, right? At $1,150,000, I don't lose any buyers from $1,001,000, so I'm throwing that extra 50K on there, right? To spread it. And again, this help you make a good analytical decision instead of just pulling a number out the air, right? Because when we do the presentation, the marketing proposal, we giving them a range anyway. So it's like, I'm not telling you it's worth $1 million. I'm telling you the range is going to be between 850 and 1.150. So now we can collectively determine where we want to be. Like, all right, our chances, how soon do you need to move this thing? Because you might not really care. This might be a Pierre to tear you, like, I could care less if I never sell it, right? So I want $1 million. That's the number we got to target. So it's like, okay, cool. Well, at 1.150, we only losing 8% of the buyer pool, 2 buyers. So I'm willing to do it here so we can land at 1, right? But if I know they got to be gone and I can't play around, I need this thing in front of as many people that are potential buyers as possible. And it's like, let's get it at 850 and let's stay firm at that 850 number. And you're going to be out in 33 days, which is the average day on market right now, right? So there's that component. And again, this is coming from analytics. This ain't coming from your brain only. So they're going to be able to say, okay, well, that's not, they're equipped with the tools that I'm not equipped with to come up with this decision. I'll need to use this person to list my property for sure.
Yeah.
Question, somebody. I thought I heard a question. I know we're over 5 minutes too, so anybody that has to leave, feel free to depart. But yeah, any other questions I want to go ahead and address while we're on here? Because as y'all see, every week we're rolling out another incredible tool that you already have access to. You know, if you actually put this stuff in place and implement it, your business will be booming.
Yeah.
And you got a dope brand behind you.
Okay.
Seriously, I can't stress that enough because it's going to open up doors for you. And then when we the Lakers, you feel me? We the Yankees, the Cowboys. I'm a 49ers fan more than the Cowboys, but whatever, right? But that's the brand, that's like the most valued brand out of every sport. It's the Dallas Cowboys. There's a reason for that. People want to identify with that brand. Yeah. And it's like, that's how we are. So let's help you accelerate your branding as well and reach out if you need me or the marketing department so we can help you out with that. But that's how you position yourself to get this business. Yeah. You know? What other questions do y'all have before we wrap it up?
I just have a quick question. Great day. This is Tanisha Mayo. My question. Will this ever integrate with Georgia MLS and FMLS? I know you said that there were duplicates and things of that nature.
Yes.
But are they working like the kinks out with that? Because sometimes like people don't put things, of course, in FMLS to avoid the fee. And
So-
so,
Yep, so to answer, the short answer is no. Because they can't pinpoint which MLS that, cause, and there's license agreements for all of this stuff, right? So they can't dictate, and I asked them why they can't do it, so this is why I know. But they can't dictate which listing they're going to select from if they're pulling from multiple pools. Meaning they can't prioritize Georgia MLS listings over FMLS. So if it's easy when it's not in duplicates, but if there are duplicates, if it's in both, they can't just determine which one they're gonna use because it would show preference to one over the other. So there's a couple of things that can happen. You can get with me or the operations team and we can have your Georgia MLS added to your FMLS and they just not gonna have that same experience. But because we have access to both. But again, we made a business decision to not have access to both because the experience was suffering from it. So you can either select Georgia MLS if you prefer, or FMLS, or you can still have them both, but you just have to understand that the duplicate factor is always gonna be there regardless. Just because again, they can't say, we're gonna pull, if there are two listings coming in, one from Georgia MLS, one from FMLS, they can't say, hey, we want the FMLS one because the pictures look better, right? Or whatever.
okay, got that. Will that affect the reporting? Or is it gonna pull the reporting from FMLS?
No, so it's gonna definitely impact the reporting as well, because it's gonna be duplicate reporting. So it's gonna, let's say there's truly 20 properties collectively, then and you use them both, it's gonna show as 40. So now it's pulling the data on those 40 so that the data won't be as accurate either.
Gotcha, okay.
But great question. Any other questions, anybody? All right, well, y'all use this stuff, man. Y'all use it, go make some money, reach out if you need us. And thank you for joining us, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.